What's up guys, Storyverse89 here, and today I'm here with a new mic and a new plan for my space program. With the new
Aha!
upcoming contract bringing a Munstone back with me, and planting a flag on the Mun. Which means we're skipping the probe landing stage. It looks like we're going straight to manned landing, which unfortunately I am very underprepared for. I don't even have heavier rocketry, which means something like the Daleth 4, aka the Delta 4, and some of the other upper stage tanks don't even exist in my loadout yet. So it looks like we're going with a heavy rocketry only mission to the Mun, with relatively limited landing research and no basic science. So this is why this is episode 1 of probably about 4 small parts of lunar prep, because there's quite a bit to be done before we actually set foot on the moon or the Mun. So let's get right into the VAB for the first construction of a very complicated plan. And welcome to the VAB, and although you may not be able to see the name up here, the mission is called the Vocal, without the A. It stands for very overly complicated landing, because due to the limited amount of parts that I have, it means we're going to have to be doing a lot more complications with getting to orbit rather than just straight there and back with, if I had, say, like a Saturn V or something, or even an N1 at this point, which, yes, I do have N1s. But we're going to need to build something to actually do this. Now, there are several ways I could go about this, but I think the way we're going to do this is create a orbiting, basically relay point, where I'm going to dock and take a lander down to the surface. So how this is going to work is we're going to fly to the moon using probably some Titan parts, carrying only one Kerbal. The rest of it's going to be probe guided. Then, once the Kerbal is in orbit, they'll fly over to the rendezvous point in lunar orbit, meet up with this station here, which will be waiting for them in lunar orbit. Once they get there, the lander will already be there. So the lander will just be waiting for them. And then once they get into the lander, we can actually initiate the procedure of landing and whatnot. Luckily, we do have some starting stuff that we can use. Now, I've been fiddling with some science experiments, seeing what I can fit on here, but there's kind of nothing. We're pretty limited in terms of actual weight of what we can carry. So we'll carry one little lunar module. We'll carry one little module down here. We are going to put it underneath so I can put the gray color. Some life support, of course. And then some life support waste containers. And yeah, that's basically the module. Of course, we need 2 antennas to provide our little relay station with some power. Now, I guess it's not really a space station, but it's more just a relay point between the lander and the orbiter. And we will be using, maybe, it depends on what modules we have unlocked. If we have the Prometheus docking and we do have the Bell, target, or whatever it's called. So we're going to do something Gemini related then. Because if we have something that can fit Gemini through 1.25, looking for a 1.25 part just so I can interstate this between this thing and, oh, well, that works. Well, no, that's an avionics package that can't be hibernated. 1.25 to 0.9. There we go. Okay, now we have an adapter and the target docking port. Now I I was thinking about using a Gemini, and then I remembered we have the Corvus. The Corvus can fit, I think it's the small docking port. Where is it? So, how this thing is gonna go is we're gonna need some very small docking ports just to get this thing all put together. Looks like we got the low profile docking port, which is unfortunately big. But that means we can go with the target docking port without having the extremely large other Gemini parts. And then we're gonna have a little convening with a Russian module, or at least what would have been the Libra. I don't know what its exact name would have been, but it was basically an early design for a Russian lander, for the moon landings that never happened because the N1 never got off the ground, at least not successfully. So we need some kind of docking port that is small. Docking port. Is this a docking port? Oh, this is a docking port. Alright, we're gonna have to redo the Corvus nose cone then. It appears we only have Gemini and Soyuz docking ports, so, and smaller, unfortunately. Which means the Libra might have to be a little rethought because it's a bit too small. This one's definitely too small. We'll focus on this for now and we'll deal with the actual like main things later. But here we go, we have the lower adapter and the upper adapter. We're going to put some communications equipment. Yes, there we go, some communications equipment. You know what? We'll make it a little bit asymmetrical. Make it look fancy. Alright, some asymmetrical antenna systems. And I don't think we'll worry about any scientific research, at least not yet. Although, wouldn't hurt to put a few basic experiments on there. Like the thermometer, which we will put on this side. Alright, we have a thermometer and this little ion chamber. That should be more than enough for a beginning lunar mission before we get advanced parts, so then we don't have to do super complicated stuff to visit the moon. But you get the gist of it. We're going to put everything together via this stuff, and we do have the low profile docking port, which is 625 meters, which is smaller, so it can capture to what we're going to use up here. So we will adapter I just had. There it is. Wait. Nope. Wait. It's always a problem having so many parts that you kind of forget where all your things are. Oh boy, we need something smaller. There we go. This should do nicely. And there we go. We got the nose docking adapter, which, albeit is a Gemini, which I don't think you can attach anything. Oh, no, you can. Well, there we go. This plus the structural interstage to make this look a little less goofy when we're fitting it inside of a fairing. There we go. Well, actually, this is going to be stacked inside of commercial Titan, or one of the Titans. 1.25, once more. 2, 0.9. Seriously, we don't have any interstages that can go between those. There's gotta be something here. There we go. So, unfortunately, due to the size that we require for this, it's going to be a little weird looking. but you know the rest of the construction of the Titan. So, see what this fits into. Definitely not 1.5. And how does this look? It actually fits nicely. So now we need to find the right fairing. That's too big. That is definitely too big. There it is. You've seen the rest of the construction, so